Hi, I'm Jason Tagmeyer.
Hey, Jason Greeno here, talking about sheet number one, Kingdom of Phariad.
So we thought we'd talk about each one of our sheets individually, what makes it cool and what makes it different than the last one. This is the first one, so there's no real differences. So let's just talk about what makes it cool.
Yeah, I think players will find right out of the bat that Red Dragon is the standout enemy. The fact that it's in position five, row five, means that it's adjacent attacks and it's adjacent sort of fire blast, which can hit row four and row six is pretty brutal if you can't take down the dragon.
Yeah, it pretty much puts that whole bottom half of the map sort of in danger. Um,
What's cool about that is the catapults have +1 attack from mountains.
and there's a whole bunch of mountains in that row five. So you can use them against the dragon. The dragon's also flying, and the catapult can hit flying. So that mountain range is in like perfect position to set yourself up for that dragon if it comes or if you expect it to be coming later in the game.
Yeah, I love the catapult, and if you can locate a mountain at just the right time, it's super rewarding. Um, the
The
other thing,
map
of course,
also has the mountain ranges at the top left and the bottom right. We've got like catapults can almost get every space. Like no matter where they are, you can just by the position of those mountains, you can kind of take control of the map with catapults if you really go all in.
100%. Yeah, and of course, you've also got archers, which can help you with a little bit of extra damage if number of gems is an issue.
Sure,
Um,
they're cheap ish.
but to counter that, goblin archers are always a problem, right? Like they're hitting all units in all diagonal directions, so you got to look out for them because they're um, at slot number two, row number two.
I think another one on this is the three orc raiders. So orc raiders take three to kill. They target the whole row, but there's just so many of them. You know, basically makes one half of the map the left side stuff that you built and survived is still pretty threatened by those orc raiders. So you kind of have to watch out for them, especially if you're holding stuff back to fight the boss potentially, or if you have stuff, further back like war horses that can hit, the middle. Those orc raiders can come up and threaten them no matter what.
Yeah, you definitely have to balance your strategy. You can't go all in protecting for late game or just rush the front lines because then you'll be in trouble when Warthog drops on the board. Um, and I
So
also
let's talk
like,
about Warthog then.
yeah, let's talk about
Warthog,
the boss.
when spawn, deals one damage to all surrounding units, which is the 8 spaces that surround its spawning spot. If you're lucky, it spawns on an edge and has fewer spaces to impact, but it's also kind of hard to reach them if they're on the edge. So, and they target all adjacent units, and they have a 6 damage to kill it, I guess 6 health, and they hit for 3. So if they hit for 3, they're potentially going to take out your whole kingdom. If you survive around and don't kill them and they come back and hit you again for 3, you're probably done at that point.
Yeah, I'd say at best you have two turns with Warthog. If you've been doing pretty well early game, you're definitely going to get knocked out of the high point score for the game, but you might just survive.
Exactly. And then we've got our hero. Let's see. Galea. Is Galea? How do we say that?
It's Galea.
Cool. Target any enemy. Amazing right off the bat. So you can hit anything anywhere on the board. It can attack flying too. So if you get that out early, you can use it to hit your dragons. If you have it out late, you can use it to hit the boss. Hits the boss for 2, which is a third of its health. But it also has +1 damage if the target's on a water space. So there's not a ton of water, but hitting for 3 in a water space is going to take out almost anything just on its own.
Yeah, and when I was playing some of this myself, I would often drop her early and try to help out with the dragon. But then I sort of regretted it later because I was using up all her charges
Yes.
before the boss showed up. So that leads me to want to talk about the temple, which is probably one of my favorite structures that we've designed. Its ability to add free charges, if you sort of plan it correctly, is I think often underlooked ability and super fun and rewarding.
Yeah, I think getting that temple out early in a row or column that's going to be potentially hazardous, um, is great because you can get a lot of extra charges out of that. It costs you four. You don't really have to build it up with its own charges if you keep it out of kind of harm's way. I love the temple.
The last thing I wanted to mention before we sign off for this week's sheet is the Gnome Thief. I really enjoyed our last improvement on that. The fact that it's now stealing those gems just when it spawns. It's certainly a sting when you're the player, but I feel like it feels right, very thematic, and something you have to like strategize around.
Yeah, I'm careful about trying to spend all my gems by the end of the turn if possible, and not have like this odd one left over that thief's gonna sneak away with. It used to be if the thief survived, it would attack and then take one of your gems. But it's an easy kill, so we moved it to the forefront. It just pops in and steals them, drives you a little
Yeah.
nuts.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to this sheet? Or
No, we change a bunch next time. Some new strategies and some new like keyword, not even keywords, kind of traits. So kind of we took some lessons from this one and brought them into the next, and I think you'll enjoy it.
same?
Cool.
All right.
See you next time.
See ya.